Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeff. Tonight we are reacting to another one of your requests. This is a sponsored request from our buddy Cody King 643. He had a couple that he was wanting to see, but one of the ones he wanted to see is already on the list further down, so he decided to put a new one in. So this is Kim Sejeong with Voyage or Honghae. I assume I'm close-ish with that pronunciation. The title is over here on my other screen. So I don't know anything about the song. I don't know anything about her other than her song "Top or Cliff" is the other one that's on the request list at the moment. But thank you so much for the request and the sponsor. Let's go check it out. I lied. I do know one thing about it, and that it came out August of last year. So, all right, not too old then. We've already got subtitles. Hopefully we don't get an ad, but if you see a weird edit, then YouTube decided to mess with us. It started off super quiet. I was like, do I have audio? Really pretty voice. I like how her voice kind of mimics the going up and down of the wave on the sea. This is supposed to be symbolic, but I don't know what it is. That's a little violin thrown in. You have all those stars to light your way, though. Okay, I knew she'd be able to hit a high note. Just listening to her, I knew she'd hit that. Oh, I was like, that was a really quick 4.5 minutes. She almost resembles Geo from Twice in that shot. What in the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? Okay, that's cute. I have my own interpretation of that. I don't know if it's right, but okay. So this is my first time ever hearing Kim Sejeong, and she has a beautiful voice. And like I said at I think it was maybe into the first verse or something like that. Maybe it was the chorus. I don't remember where it was, but where she's doing that rapid, like go up and then come back down, up, down with her vocals. It was like the boat is hitting choppy waters at that point, and she's going up and down with the waves vocally, just like the metaphor or the imagery. So yeah, that was cool. There's a couple of things I'm gonna point out, and I also see you guys can't see it, but it's behind my camera. This says Kim Sejeong pre-release Honghae. So I'm assuming that this was pre-debut, which would make sense the message of the song, because the message of the song is essentially taking you on a voyage, or taking her on a voyage, or describing her voyage, however you want to think about it, of going into the unknown and starting this journey. So, um, I'm just using context clues. Like I said, I don't know anything about this or her. So, it is possible that, this is a pre debut, like I said, or it's possible that, this is just an album and it was a pre-release off of that. So feel free to let me know. I'm gonna I think I'm gonna approach it in my interpretation as if it's a pre-debut, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. That's just the framework I'm gonna go with. I think. Maybe I'll change that as we're going. Okay, so we're starting off, and I actually forgot about this scene when we came back to it, but it's like she's a princess, and she's in the fairy tale world, and the this makes me think of the fairy tale, the Princess and the Pea, where like the girl was so sensitive she could even feel the pea through multiple layers of mattresses and such, and everything had to be like just right. Um, yeah, I don't, probably because of the stacked mattresses and her looking like a princess. That's the only reason why I can think of that I would make that connection. Wakey, wakey. That's right. It's time to figure out what's going on here. Okay, so we're getting imagery here of her describing what she is either heading towards or what she knows to expect. One or the other. We don't know yet. But we've got the far edge of the sea and where moonlight spreads into morning. So, in other words, that point where dark turns to dawn. There is actually a point in the ocean, in the Pacific Ocean. I forget exactly where, but where you can actually see uh, night and day on like two separate sides, if you're in the right spot. Darkness blooms into a shade of blue. Okay, I'll see the Uncharted today. So she's basically taking the stance of being like one of the explorers of old, like Ferdinand Magellan or Christopher Columbus or, Marco Polo or whatever. All those explorers who went forth into the unknown, and she's gonna see the uncharted. She's gonna see things that, to her knowledge, have never been seen before. And Obviously, at this point, almost everything has been seen, but back in those days, that wasn't the case. And so we're preparing for the voyage itself, like the name of the song. All right, so now she sees this little girl, and because she saw the little girl, I missed. Send yesterday's doubts behind to the waves. So we're leaving the worries and cares of yesterday in the past, and we're moving forward. But remember, she actually has a couple of lines where she says like moving forward isn't enough. We'll definitely reach the future at a call. In other words, you know, we'll work for it, but we're gonna get there in our own time. Our success isn't being measured by anyone else or anyone else's standards. We're gonna get, or I am gonna get to where I want to go. Steadfast on moving exactly where we are. So I feel like that line is saying, like, you know, having the resolve and the courage to keep facing the test of time, essentially. Because she does mention sitting on the waves of time. And then steadfast, unmoving exactly where we are. Like I said, having that resolve, not being easily either led astray or losing sight of your dreams, like having that focus. Then she steps through the wardrobe. Now we're in a different fairy tale. This line, to move forward, it's still not enough. But was she actually talking about the line before where she says down, up, keep rowing? Like, doing this action isn't enough on its own to move forward? What's the next line? Yeah, okay. So, if you're in the ocean, simply rowing the boat might not be enough to overcome the turbulent waves and, you know, the troubles, the hardships that you're going through. You know, that's that hard work, but maybe that's not enough. So you also have to be opportunistic and have, you know, you got to work smarter, not harder sometimes. So she's saying, hoist the sails up high, because we're going to try and catch the wind and use that to propel us forward. Follow the guiding winds. Now row the oars. Now we're working smarter and harder. And we're setting sail for the world, aka her, where she's trying to go, and maybe in her career, or just maybe even as in some ways as like a relationship with the fans. If this isn't a debut song, that interpretation makes more sense. Like, I'm gonna keep giving more things and pursuing new things together, and we'll be in search of that new world, or those new styles that I'm gonna create, whatever. But if this is more of a pre-debut song as I'm interpreting, then it's even more obvious, like setting sail for a world still unknown. Like, you don't know, you've heard about it. She obviously knows the world is out there in this particular case. Like, she knows what an idol theoretically their career is going to entail, but she doesn't know what hers is going to look like. So that world to her is unknown at this point. I don't know what, like, festival this is supposed to be. Yeah, it's not always easy. It's not always quiet. Sometimes I face hardships that are as bigger than me. I actually like that description where she said, each day waves as tall as I am rise and crash with me. Like, maybe sometimes she faces hurdles or obstacles in her life that feel as big or bigger than she is, and maybe she doesn't think she can overcome them in that moment. But she's going to keep rowing, and she's going to have the sails set, and she's going to keep persevering in search of that world. I don't know what the little masks are supposed to be. Like what they represent, I mean. The song has like a folksy type of feel to it, which is accented by that violin, just underneath the melody. It's almost more like a fiddle. Actually, I think it is a fiddle. Alright, so we got that nice, beautiful smile at the end. Then she finally catches up with the girl, and she gets these keys. And there's supposed to be significance there, like, to that particular scene. But in terms of her getting the keys, I think that's like her getting the keys to her own future and being able to come and go as she pleases in the sense of the music video. But, having all the tools, having the keys, being able to unlock that future, whatever you want to call it, I think it's that type of metaphor. Could be wrong, but that's what I'm going with. Alright guys, that was Kim Sejeong with Voyage. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had fun with that one. She, like I said, this is the first time I've heard her. And gorgeous voice. I will be interested to see that Topper Cliff song once I get to it, but it is... Yeah, it's way down the list. I was looking over here at the request queue. But again, Cody King, thank you so much for the sponsor request. For any of you guys who didn't see the anniversary video, we have Patreon. So there's free content, there's paid content. The paid subs over there get access to requests every month. If you want to do anything like that and get your request bumped to the top of the line. Speaking of requests, you can check the link to the spreadsheet down in the description below. It'll take you to the request queue where you can see what's been requested, where everything is on the list. And if you don't want to do Patreon, but you do want to get to the top of that list, then you can do as our friend Cody did here and sponsor a request through the PayPal. So plenty of options there. And of course, everyone still gets one free request as long as it follows all of the rules. But yeah, check the description for that stuff. Thanks for checking this one out, guys. Sorry this one was a little later than I wanted it to be because I was waiting on the final episode of Island 2 to finish rendering so that I could put it on the Patreon. So this was intended to be up Friday night. It's going to end up being Saturday morning, but thanks again. I'll catch you for the next one. Take care, guys.